This next topic is going to blow your mind. My favorite treatment is called a fractional laser treatment for the skin. It is incredible. It will treat wrinkles. It will treat large pores, fine lines, pigmentation. The list is endless. It'll actually tighten the skin. It's called a fractional CO2 or a fractional erbium laser. My name is Chantal Ward, and I'm a registered nurse specializing in medical aesthetics. I'm here today to give you all the information you need so that you can make sound decisions for yourself in your anti-aging journey. I'm here today to show you this treatment and how it's performed in clinic to basically tackle large pores, fine lines and wrinkles, deeper wrinkles, skin laxity or crepiness, pigmentation, and an overall rejuvenation. Fractionated laser, or I'm going to refer to it as a fractionated CO2, just so I'm not going back and forth, or an erbium, is really a technology that has an affinity or loves water. So when we think about the epidermis or the top layer of the skin, we know that our skin carries a lot of water. So when we treat it, you actually will create these little islands of injury below the surface of the skin. So it vaporizes the tissue from top to bottom based on the depth that we use on the technology. For those of you who've got property and look after your front lawn and you love to have a very rich, healthy looking grass, you probably aerate your grass. So, which means you're creating little entry points in it, these little dirt plugs that come out, and it allows the grass, the new seeds to start seeding and become a lot healthier. So we're doing something very similar when it comes to doing fractionated laser treatments of the skin. We're creating these focused injuries that are spaced apart that are aerating or creating a vaporization. Now, why is that important? So when we have these little islands of injury in the tissue from the top down, we now are creating a thermal effect as well as an ablative or vaporizing the tissue. Not beyond repair, but we're stimulating what's called a wound healing cascade. So if we want to have more collagen and elastin, we want to make sure that we get deep enough into that epidermal-dermal junction to start stimulating that cascade. So the benefits is we're going to build new collagen. So if you have acne scars, your acne scars are going to get softer because we also encourage that cell turnover on the top layer of the skin. You're going to have a softer looking texture to the skin, especially if you have mild to moderate scars. So we can soften them quite a bit. We may add a few little injectables down the road, but I have been really happy and my clients have been happy with doing these treatments. Now, for someone who's older, that hasn't really been diligent about looking after and protecting their skin from UVA, UVB, they've got more wrinkles, they may have smoked in their younger years, they may not have used good skincare, they have an overall, how do I be nice about this? A leathery look to their tissue or the top layer of their skin. So doing a treatment like the erbium or fractionated CO2, we're now going to encourage that cell turnover. And that cell turnover or that injury, that controlled injury, once again, it's going to build collagen. It's going to bring all of these little fibroblasts in, increase blood flow, and that's what makes the skin healthier. So as you can see, we can treat a number of different skin concerns. So let me recap. Acne scars, wrinkles, pigmentation, poor texture, crepiness. I think I've listed them all, but there's probably a few others too. The treatment starts with We take photos, we do consent form, we'll apply a topical numbing cream that is a prescription grade numbing cream just to make it a little bit more comfortable because the treatment itself doesn't hurt, but there's a heat generated immediately after. That heat sensation will last for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and then it subsides. And then you'll be red. You'll be red. Sometimes if we add exosomes to it, exosomes downregulate that inflammatory process and it helps with the healing, so you won't be red as long. But if you do it without exosomes, you'll be red for anywhere between 5 and 7 days, depending on how aggressive I go. Now, if you've got severe scars, severe acne scars, most of my clients that have that don't mind 7 days of downtime or 5 to 7 days because I can go more aggressive, which means I make those little islands of injury closer. The reason why we want to make them closer is that we have more surface area that's covered with the little ablation zones. During the treatment, we actually protect your eyes with eye shields. We could use metal shields or sticky pads that are protective, and we do the treatment. The treatment takes roughly itself around 20 to 25 minutes. After the treatment, we will then apply a post-treatment ointment or the exosomes, and you'll sit with a cold air machine blowing on your tissue for 15 minutes to help bring down that heat. Now, when you leave, you'll look a little red. Everybody, their redness varies. If you're blue-eyed, fair skin, very reactive skin, you'll look like a little bit of a red tomato, but that comes down quite quickly. If you have more of that Mediterranean skin type or that olive, you'll look like you're red, but almost red like you fell asleep in the sun a little too long. Over the course of 2 to 3 days, the heat subsides quite quickly. The redness will start subsiding, but then the skin starts turning over. What patients tell me and what I've personally experienced is that the skin becomes so dry, almost like sandpaper. I call it coffee grounds, or the medical term is called mens. That is that skin coming up to the surface and it becomes almost denatured, where it looks like if you zoomed in on somebody, it looks like they've walked into a screen door. So the more sun damage they have, the more of that coffee ground look they will have. It then starts kind of falling off on their own. We don't want you to exfoliate. We don't want you using any kind of vigorous scrubbing. We want the skin to go through its natural shedding. The length of time is roughly 5 to 7 days until that skin has completely turned over and you've got this new skin underneath. From beginning to end is roughly 7 days, maybe a little bit longer, especially on these areas where we tend to have more sun damage, where we haven't protected ourselves well along the hairline. And then you're left with this new, vibrant skin. The best protocol would be to do at least 2 treatments anywhere between 6 and 8 weeks apart. As you can see from the video, my client here has had this treatment before, and she is so diligent about doing all these non-invasive types of procedures to continue with her anti-aging journey. She's got great skin. She does have a little bit of crepiness. So we know that doing this treatment for this client, we're going to get also a little bit of that surface skin tightening, which will deal and manage with some of this crepiness that she complains about around her nasolabial fold and mid-cheek. Because doing fillers on her would not look normal and natural, but if we can cause that vaporization or that skin contraction at that top layer of the epidermis, it's going to be the most natural approach for her. Now, next to alt therapy, this is also one of my favorite treatments. As we know, with alt therapy, I'm working deep, doing that skin tightening, building collagen, but it really doesn't address what's going on the top of the skin. That textural stuff, the pores, the acne scars, the crepey skin, the pigmentation. So alt therapy does all that tightening and lifting and building collagen below. And fractionated erbium or CO2 is going to manage all the texture, tone, and color of the epidermis. So that's why I call it the sandwich effect. I joke around with my clients. I love it because it's the sandwich effect. I'm dealing with the top layer, I'm dealing with the bottom layer, and then to top it all off, if you've got wrinkles and movements and muscles, then I give you a little bit of Botox, and we've got the perfect formula of a stacked treatment plan that's going to give you the most youthful, natural look ever. I hope this was useful. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up.